Welcome to the Offspace podcast. It's your host with the mother freaking mokes, Chuka Offer.
And it's your favorite co-host, Ezigo Offer. And you know we're here.
You know what we're here to do.
Exactly.
Y'all know what we're here to do.
You know, I kind of hate how I just nodded at the camera like that. So whoever's watching, I apologize. Whoever's listening, keep listening.
I really just had that awkward pause, I'm not going to lie to you guys, so I could fix my freaking microphone because I saw I was coming up on Ezigo's. But regardless of that, how you doing, my boy? Wait. First thing I need to point out is this might sound a little bit different to people that may have been listening on headphones or anything
I wonder
like
why.
that. Headphones or anything like that for the last few weeks. Shouts out to my dog Heem.
Imagine getting a phone call in the middle of your day to let you know that your podcast is fucked up. No, I'm just kidding. It's all love. And that is exactly the kind of feedback we've been looking for.
Those are the kind of friends I love and need because my dog really, fan of the podcast. He says he screws with what we're doing. So he's listening to it. And this may have been the first time that he threw on the AirPods to listen to him. And so he was hearing one person out the left ear, one person out the right ear.
He couldn't stand it.
He called me immediately. He was like, "Dog, I can't stand this. Nah, I got to tell you what to do to fix this." And instantly he broke it down for me. We got it done. He's a rapper, artist. So, I mean,
friend of the
he
pod,
knows how to do this stuff. Friend of the pod for sure. We have plans, of course, in New York with the homies and the gang. But now, how are you doing this week, my boy?
Man, I'm doing interesting. I was going to say good like I normally do, but man, this week has been trying. For all my people who have ever been through adversity, you know what happens when it comes out the other side. Like, I like to deem myself someone who is resilient, some might say, I might even I know it's like a negative thing, but I say I'm a cockroach, bro. You know why? Because it takes a lot to get rid of us.
Bro, as it goes, I'm not going to get into detail. Obviously, I'm
going to say a little bit, but
I was going to say, y'all might get the long version one day. Just know whatever version he gives y'all is, he's got hours of content for this.
Genuinely. Okay, so it's funny because, for the past few weeks, I've been talking about a backpacking trip I was about to go on. So it happened. Yeah, the trip was good in the sense I was really happy of the things I was able to learn from it. Overall, I was able to learn, that I'm way more resilient than I thought. I already knew, again, I'm somebody who it's going to take a lot to get me out of here. But it pushed me to the limit and only made me realize I can go even further than that. My limits haven't been figured out yet because it just keeps going. I learned that I could step up to leadership roles, which I was really happy for because I already knew. But really seeing it, especially when you don't intend on being I'm the kind of person, you know this.
It's actionable.
I really never go in just I need to be the leader of a group. If I don't need to and there's a nigga better suited than me, please, I know what kind of responsibility comes with that, but I was just happy for it.
I feel like I'm relatively similar on that end too. A lot of the times I may come on a little bit stronger than you do in terms of just trying to, I guess, demand or kind of take a leader role. But for the most part, I feel like I sit back and it's I get where you're coming from. It's obviously if people are more skilled, people are more knowledgeable in something, or people are better at something, please let them lead. But if you notice a gap or you notice where people may need help or awkward situations, you're definitely ready and willing to step up and figure it out.
But thank you. That was the best way I could have said that, to be honest. And it's just some of the things on that trip, having to hike for miles up steep incline before you even see a spot to sleep at night, you got to keep going for real. Running out of water in the middle of the woods will have anybody feeling crazy. There was a point where I just was so over it, and I'm not even going to lie, I was over it, but I was pushing. And I got ambushed by a 12-year-old with a knife. I can't even make it up. I can't even make this up.
On some TV show shit.
Can't even make this up. So much happened out there. I might have lost a friend. If you're listening, I apologize for that. To be honest, you should know. You know what I mean? But I might have lost a friend for real, and not because they dropped me. With all due respect, you got to choose what kind of company you want to keep around, and you got to realize what kind of people are truly the ones you want to surround yourself around, because you end up becoming a reflection of them. And so if people don't fit the same values and morals and things that you have set for yourself, especially in situations where you need to, y'all are out there trying to really work as a team to survive, and some people are treating you as lesser or taking advantage of you and things like that.
Well, you got forced into the classic situation, right? When people talk about you don't really know who your real friends are until it's dark outside or until it's low moments in your life. Being backpacking in the woods, you thrust yourself into a situation that's literally, if you don't compromise, if you don't work as a team, if you don't this, if you don't that, it is always going to be exponentially harder because it's just you guys and the elements. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm telling you, there's something about being out in the woods at night to where I don't care what the footstep is, bro. It could be or it could be doof, doof, doof. either way, it's a bear. Like your mind's instantly thinking it's a bear.
Bro, that's why I don't do shit like that, bro. Imagine waking up and a bear's looking at you, bro. Just
bro, night one, I thought it was raps for us. Night one, I just kind of accepted the fate. Like whatever happens right now. But yeah, man, I'm happy to have made it back to my family. I'm a big nature guy, and I'm not trying to go on a hike for a while. So take that as you will. Just know that I'm happy to be here. And shouts out to Oliver for real, and what he's doing over with his own brand, Deals for Days. If y'all are ever trying to save money, broke college kids or things like that, that's one thing I really do vouch for, and it's helped me out a lot recently too. Go ahead and check him out, man.
And there's many communities, and I'm going to say a positive stereotype. People can take this whatever they want to take it, and that's fine.
Positive stereotypes can be hurtful sometimes.
Of course.
You only mean the best from it. But so I'm going to go ahead and lead with love on that.
I only mean the best here because, in general, I feel like maybe because there's some psychology behind it about where we've been thrust or whatever.
People hate being put in boxes.
I feel like, yeah, but I feel like foreign people and or people of color, but foreign people, a lot of the times there's different kind of finesses that you see in the white community that a lot of people know, more widespread, I guess, in other communities. But when it comes to foreign communities, I feel like the what people would typically call finesses, you know what I'm saying, or how to like work the system, how to do this, how to do that, because maybe they had to advance, are really prevalent, right? And so like it's funny to me when you said that about Oliver, because I instantly believed you, because like the way, like, dog, it's like not even just like what people would traditionally, because a lot of people forget the range of countries in Asia. It's like in general though, the Asian homies through all the range, like the range of Asian homies be the first ones that know how to do the super finesse. Like whenever I'm talking about the super finesse, and you be thinking about, why does somebody our age even think about some stuff like that? Like you were talking about a finesse with, was it Truly's or something? Like that?
Bro, I'm not.
I won't say the brand.
I'm not say the brand. Fuck the brand. I'm not even really gonna talk about that one anymore, because we low-key had a meeting and that one's on the down low now.
Okay, never mind. It's
Truly, if you know, then you're gonna.
If you know, you know.
Good.
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, but just take from that what you will. The deals are awesome.
Nah, man, it really is hilarious just to peep game, because I know there's finesses on our side that we know. And it's when you have multicultural friendships and shit, especially the kind that y'all all want to do better in life and want to help each other go navigate life a little bit easier, you start to learn that different communities have different finesses. So when you're able to piece those together, it's really like being Thanos,
a superpower,
and you're getting all the different little Infinity Stones.
Bro, I'm telling you, that's why I get so sad sometimes seeing like how they pit us against one another, and like our communities end up fighting, you know, due to once again psychological things. But it's like, I always think like if like the Black, Latin, Spanish, Asian, like all of the communities came together and just exchanged finesses, we're unstoppable.
For sure.
It's superpowers. Like, because I feel like me just coming from, and like you as well, it's we've always been people that are really accepting and really loving of people's cultures through different things, of course. Like one thing we have in common with people's cultures we love so much is food. But like there's varied stuff that make us say, hey, I want to discover more, I want to learn more. But when you thrust yourself into those cultures, you start to learn everybody's got something to offer you. Everybody really has something nice to offer you if you really pay attention.
And you can share a bit of yourself with them, man. And it helps bridge a gap culturally, because I don't care what culture you come from and all the subtle nuances, whether you eat baked beans in the morning with toast or not, there's something that you always have internally that can bridge that gap. I'm sorry, I had to laugh there, because my British people, y'all are great, but that's wild. That's insane.
It's hilarious to me too, how cool, like, and I know it might sting a little bit because I know they just lost the Euros, so I know they're a mad country right now. So obviously, you know, we're sad for you guys, because everybody doesn't like suffering defeat like that. But at the end of the day, just watching it, I'm not going to give a huge recap, but y'all were very, very dangerously mismanaged at the end. Like throwing a 19-year-old, like I don't want to be on a low note, so I don't want to dive into this too much, but it's like throwing a 19-year-old in to take one of your game deciding PKs as his first international play PK, you know, live in front of the world. No matter what, this is what's the difference between like people I talk about on this, where it'd be like stat guys, and it could be like eye test and experience guys. Like you could be the worst PK kicker in practice, but if you've done it 30 times on the international stage, whatever your percentage is, I promise you in a Euro final, I'm always going to put you and force you to take that PK before the young kid that's never done it before.
He could be a star, but at the end of the day, like, pressure's real, bro. People don't like to talk about that, but Kobe, I was watching an interview with him where he was talking about how for high pressure situations, he even had to do things to take care of it and listen to like music that reminded him of high school where basketball was just, you know, having fun. So,
because you see, bro,
we're all affected. If anyone says that they don't feel pressure, they're for 99% of the times they're lying. Because there really are some weird niggas out there, but that's a different case.
And it just goes into just like we talked about with Meghan Markle, like happens very much like crazy with athletes in Europe, whether or not even just of the black community, like of the Arabic community, the Middle East, Southeast Asian, like they
be killing them.
Bro, it seems like when those people, because I saw there was a Karim Benzema quote, there was an Ozil quote, like we've seen Pogba's stripes he's been going through, we've seen Balotelli, even like what he dealt with. It's just like these players all ring the same sentiment. It's like I'm a racial slur when I miss, but when I make the goal, I can claim the country I'm from, which is nuts. But once again, all the way back to the main point of I don't understand. It's funny because I was talking to Jesse yesterday and we said like how cool everybody's thought like British people are and like England and like the British accent and how that's naturally been like a cool accent to people, like cool culture. And then all of a sudden people realized them niggas ate baked beans unironically like pork and beans for breakfast.
It all went downhill.
And then it was instantly like, oh, you're like the rest of them. You know what I'm saying? They instantly stopped being cool.
It's just something about waking up first thing in the morning to eat toast and baked beans that is not sitting well with my soul. Like, I know y'all got better food. I know y'all got better food.
Bro, the thing is,
the blood sausage really wasn't bad like that, though.
It's not. No, people are definitely over exaggerating when they say the English breakfast is bad. Yeah. Like
the little rashers.
Truly, if there was no baked beans and it was might be anything else on this planet, and me personally, no raw tomatoes.
I kind of like the tomato.
It's slapping.
I kind of like the tomato, but.
But anyways, moving right along.
How was your week, bro? Because I know I just had to go into it for mine for a second, so we might have skimmed over yours. I wanted to make sure we didn't let that pass over.
I've had a cool week, high pressure week for sure. But I mean, like high pressure, stressful. But one, we make love to pressure. Shouts out to Steven Jackson for me stealing that quote. But it's just like. It cracks us, it crumbles us all, and it makes us all, you know, you have to get chinks in your armor, you know what I'm saying? You have to get these hits. You have to be beat up a little bit so that you can build that resilience to be able to take on what you need to take on in life. And I truly think every single time now I go through something, like it screws me up, of course, and I get a little bit knocked back. But I feel like now I've gotten to the point that in the midst of the trouble, I start smiling and I start like almost on some like sociopathic stuff. Like I start looking like, all right, I love this. Like, let's make some light out of this. I want to see how I feel on the light at the end of the tunnel. Because I've gone through that tunnel too many times to let it beat me down. You know,
I like that,
and I keep making it to the end, so y'all aren't gonna stop me. You know, so it is what it is. But that's all I got for my week. Like, it really was just some resilience, and just another thing that I learned as well, which I didn't learn, but you brought this up to an extent, and I wanted to expound on it a little bit. You were talking about how you don't always have to be right in conversations or discussions with people. And I think that it is one of the most important skills that a human being can learn. I learned it late myself, just being honest, because I'm hard-headed. I'm heady. I love arguing. But it's like sometimes when you gauge a situation and you see somebody you love, somebody you care about on that other side, right? Like you have to realize that sometimes people's emotions and like people's feelings matter more than the point of being right or wrong. Sometimes you just need to try to come to the best understanding you can of one another and then just carry on. Like there doesn't always have to be like a loser in every situation. It's usually best to be you and somebody else versus a problem versus you versus that other person.
Because sometimes I know you want to be the person that's like, this is what I meant or this is why you're wrong. But at the end of the day, truly, when you love somebody enough, none of that shit really matters. So it's just like, let's move on to the next day. Obviously, there's always going to be moments, regardless of what your relationship is, whether it's your significant other, your sibling, your parents, your friends, whatever. There are moments where you need to hash shit out so you don't keep carrying it and hold animosity.
Surely.
But you'll be able to tell what time those are and what time things that you're talking about really just don't matter like that.
No, amen, 100%. So I wanted to just make sure to give that message out to the listeners and the viewers as well, because that's something that I feel like is important. But moving right along to the heat checks for the week, I'll start us off.
All right.
My heat check is going to be a little bit of a throwback, but it's the Top Dawg Cypha, just the core members of TDE, Kendrick Lamar, J-Rock, Absol, Schoolboy Q. And it's featuring Lil Louie, but y'all are only going to get Schoolboy Q's part because I was definitely having a discussion this week. I'm sorry.
You're always having a discussion. This man says he was definitely having a discussion. Like, he just randomly popped up. This nigga always having a music discussion with somebody.
Because I'm a music loser. I love this shit. But anyways,
yeah, you are.
No, but anyways, like people I think a lot of people forget how good of a rapper Schoolboy Q is.
Yeah.
Because like people talk about like lyrical prowess and all of this. And I'm not even playing a top verse. This is just a verse I like, by the way. It's just so I wanted to play that. But Schoolboy, like, he got his stuff off earlier in his career on that typical vein of rappy rap people like. And then he just became somebody that loved experimentation. He's even said it himself in his interviews that if one album sounds like another album, he feels like he's failed. You know what I'm saying? So with that
and
being
you can
said,
see it. You can see it.
Top Dawg Cypha. Here's that boy Q. Yeah, I'm letting it run, nigga. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Slow it down. Slow it down.
And that's the Schoolboy Q's verse off of the Top Dawg Cypha. If you want to listen to the whole thing, it was like, I don't know, truly, like I've been a long time TDE fan, of course, but I wasn't there from the inception. So I don't know if this was a compilation mixtape or just a bunch of old Lucy's that they had like dumb early or not. But it was just called the Black Hippie Mixtape. Got it off of Dat Piff. Shouts out. Yes, sirski.
Shouts out to them.
And then what was yours again?
My heat check was OHMAMI by Chase Atlantic. A young friend of ours, actually Jesse, put me onto it. And I'm not going to lie, the song randomly slapped to me. I don't know if like everything that they made would. I got to go back and listen to that. I can't vouch for everything, but this song itself, I know, was actually pretty fucking good. So go ahead and run it 30-something.
Yes, sirski.
Or whatever, but I hope y'all go ahead and tune in, listen to it, have a good time. That song, it's weird because that sound reminded me of a fusion of so many different things at once.
Super.
It reminded me of some like trippier rap shit from like the Travis Scott side to like Big Time Rush on some old Nickelodeon shit. Like God knows what.
Mommy.
But yeah, go ahead and check that out if you want.
Yes, sirski. Oh, Mommy by Chase Atlantic.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. And then moving right along into just recent releases for the week, just talking about stuff that we were listening to. Just give people a shout out. Before I get into the project that we're both going to talk about, You See For Yourself by IDK was dropped. I heard that.
Pretty fucking good, man.
You liked it?
I didn't listen to many things besides that and the other project.
Yeah.
And I really did like it. He's just somebody that it seems like is really about this music shit, and I'm happy to see young artists like that grow, keep doing their craft, and keep like kind of carving out their sound. So I enjoyed it truly, and I'm excited to hear more because that was probably some of my first real taste of his music.
For me, I liked it. I liked the project so far. The other project that we have to talk about this week is the reason that I didn't dive into it as much, but I listened to it like one good playthrough. There were some solid songs for me, like some solid highs. The song with Dawg was nice, of course, but I'm not going to say a song with Dawg is bad.
I used to. If you asked me in 2013, I might have. I was lying. This man, Young Thug, don't miss.
But I remember people seem to be gravitating towards Keto. And then I remember enjoying Santa Monica Boulevard.
I wish
Santa Monica Boulevard.
I want to see just to make sure the one I have, because again, my phone's being used to record y'all, so bear with me here. Was it Shoot My Shot? I think that was the one. Yeah.
Yes, Sirski. And so then another project that came out this week was Rai Rai World by Mariah the Scientist. Mariah the Scientist is somebody that I was waiting for and excited for a project as well. Through first listen through, obviously Lil Baby did his thing. Once again, Young Thug is on there. Only positive Young Thug comments on this podcast. And so
I love it.
And so that was a project that I'm happy for, and I'm happy to listen to with a woman for sure. But now that we have to get straight into the meat of this week, pause.
Bro, I'm sorry. There's certain moments that it's just like you don't even know how to follow up after, but we're just gonna keep rolling like nothing happened. So going into young Vince Staples.
Yes, sir. Vince Staples'
long-awaited album.
No, it was an EP. I think he called it an EP. Even though it's 10 songs.
I say album. I'm pretty sure it's an album.
I don't know the rules anymore because y'all are giving me things with multiple songs on a streaming service, so I'm going to call them all projects. So, like, whatever he dropped, it's Vince Staples, self-titled.
He said, fuck the rollout, so it's an album. But, yeah, no, I was really happy to see this come together from him. I feel like, obviously, Vince Staples is an incredibly talented artist, and my only gripes with him is sometimes it feels like the sound doesn't come around as cohesive on a project to get his story told or whatever like he's trying to give to people, even if it's not so much a story, if it's even more of a vibe or whatever. And it's funny because I was watching the interview where he was talking about how Tyler and Alchemist and some other friends of his were kind of breaking down how he needed to tell some of these stories that he's always talking about. And he said he is, but they were like, okay, well, we know that you are, but you got to do it a little bit differently so you actually can tell the story, you know? And so I think we saw it with this project because everything just played one after the other so smooth. It was easy to digest. I don't know if at this point he's just notorious for short albums, but I'm not mad at it because it has crazy replay value. Yeah.
Like, that's what I was about to say. At least he's consistent, because I heard a couple gripes about it being shorter as well. But I believe Vince has honestly given us an offering every single year since he like dropped the Stolen Youth.
Has he?
Yeah, I think so. I think
there's been a lot, so it makes sense. But I'm thinking like actual albums, maybe
projects. I'll say projects because he consistently at least will give us a 4-pack or something. Like, Vince is somebody that likes giving music out to his people. Yeah. Granted, he talks about loving the monetary side and touring and being able to tour songs and albums, so he likes new shit to tour to, but he still gives music out to his people, and it's good music. Like,
and at the same time, you know, he's really, he's doing some of the I just dropped something, I'm gonna promote it, talk about it, try and engage with people around it, but he's also somebody who truly does that out of necessity. I'm sure he just wants to just fucking make music and have a good time, and I appreciate that because it comes through in the music. You could tell that's the focus.
For sure. You could definitely tell that's the focus, but it's funny with a personality like Vince Staples, like, it seems like he enjoys the talking space. Like, whenever he's done his, like, the radio show, I think he did a couple episodes of, like, a podcast or something they were trying to do with him, which I don't know why he doesn't have his own podcast once a week, because that would be a big
I would listen every episode.
But it's like,
every episode.
But it's like, I think people have been in talks trying to get him to do that, but with the mind he has. But I think he's somebody like us, in all honesty, when it comes to the fact that you could see if he's doing something he's not interested in, he finds a way to make it fun for himself. Yeah. So I feel like the way he like fucks with people, like me fucking with people or anything like that, like mid-conversation and mid-speech while still driving home a point, is interesting and it's dope to see. But from Vince and just like offerings in general, this so far, and I know I'm preemptive and there's so many heavy hitters that are still going to be coming for this week. Oh, no, not this week, but this year. But I truly,
everybody's dropping an album.
But so far, this is the album of the year for me, this Vince project. Like, it's incredible music, incredible music, artistic. Like, Tyler's is right there too. Like, it's just a preference at this point because I think Tyler's is an outstanding body of work as well. So let's not be weird about that. So I think this Vince project is going to stand the test of time for me. Like, are you with that? Like, that beat is still just playing in my head. You know,
that's funny. That's
the video.
I know, again, the album's still new, so I don't want to fuck shit up when I give my favorites in case I'm mixing up some, to be honest, just being real. But I know it was definitely weird, but on, like, a good note. Again, the album even opening up with Are You With That on, like, that kind of a slower vibe, but this nigga's still getting his shit off type. You know what I mean? It kind of rides.
For
It
sure.
rides 100%.
Super rides. That shit is nice.
Was there a favorite for you off of it, or songs that you wanted to go ahead and just say to look out for? Honestly, go ahead and listen to the whole thing.
No,
it's 22
minutes. You know what I'm saying? Normally we would do that, but it's 22 minutes.
I just realized
you have 20 minutes of your day to listen to some outstanding music. So please listen to Vince Staples by Vince Staples. And then moving right along, since a lot of the stuff we have this week is like sports fronted, we're not going to dive directly in, of course, because there's funny themes with certain stuff.
Yeah.
I just wanted to hear a little like continued thoughts, of course, about a certain.
You see what he's saying here, right? You see how he kind of leads up to it. Shuka always does this thing with his voice when he knows he's about to be on bullshit with me, and I sense it. Y'all might not, but I sense it. So go ahead and say whatever you got to say.
Bro, I was just gonna say, bro, if you were sitting back with your shorty, right?
Okay.
You know, shirt unbuttoned, nice shorts on, you know what I'm saying? Like good, you're doing the whole color scheme stuff, you know, like the rappers do.
I'm wearing the shirt?
The whole color scheme. You're wearing the shirt. You know what I'm saying? You're looking great. And so you got your nice Prada bucket on, you know, you got to fit your fit, you're killing shades, you know the whole fit, you know, pink tinted Cartier frame, just something light. It was an easy day for you. And they might just be octagon frames too. It's just a light day, something regular. Mm-hmm. And then as you're going to take a bite, of your omelet, after you just took a big chug of your mimosa, you know, you're having a great time. It's brunch. There's a bunch of beautiful women, a bunch of friends, all of that. Yeah. And then you look up and then somebody squirted at you and it hits your eye like a shotgun.
Bro, I'm pissed. Honest to God. Well, if y'all don't know what he's talking about, the reference. There's a video of a shorty at a brunch.
With lots of people.
Up and she looked like she was she was vigorous with it.
What?
Just really trying to get her shit off in the middle of a fucking brunch.
Bruh, like I almost
staring at niggas.
No, pause. But I was about to stand up and demonstrate, so I had to stop myself. It was like, nah. But shorty was stood up, like no pants or anything on, which, by the way, we don't know the whole story here. Obviously, I'm assuming that somebody doing something that nuts is either the lack of socialization might have gotten to them. This might have been their first event and they might have went crazy after like that lockdown, or B, they're off of something, like there was some sort of drugs or something like that. So if shorty really was going through something,
way too much tequila.
We pray for you. We hope that you're okay. I think
they gotta do the limited amount of like obviously slightly bottomless mimosas need to be the phrase from now on, because some of y'all need to cut off.
You think people are going to the slightly bottomless? Because people be leaving bottomless mimosas dastardly, leaning. Even when there's no alcohol hardly in the mimosa, niggas are gonna drink the 30 glasses to get there. You know what I'm saying? Because it's bottomless.
Yeah, I'm gonna get drunk, so I get that. I truly do.
And so shorty was standing up, and it's just like one of the videos, a dude was like helping prop her up as she was going. On God,
there was somebody.
Like, niggas are disgusting, bro. Like, she was really just like leg up, just the worst part, just firing it off.
I'm sorry, bro. You did not need to make that face and those noises.
I was trying to give people some optics.
That reaction was genuine, yo. I was speechless. That's crazy.
Oh, that's incredible. But all we have to say is, now I understand why the owner of Turkey Hut ended up putting the dress code out, because he doesn't want y'all there. He doesn't want the people that are about to be squirting on the turkey leg.
He said, you need jeans. You need fucking jeans. You need something else.
Nothing revealing. He doesn't want easy access at all. You got to really want to. You got to be committed to the grind if you're ripping off some. Because you see how girls
imagine they start seeing people like start taking off pants or some shit. He's like, nope, send the security. It's like,
bro, I know he's running out like the dude from Get Out. Like, really, just like a 4-1 sprint at motherfucker.
Trying to get there.
Jesus. But
yeah, I'm not going to lie. There was other things I expected to wake up to. That's not one of them. It's not one of them. So.
Bro, so I feel like every day we see something new that we didn't expect to see on the internet, because it's the internet.
Every year we get older, we just learn more and more that the world's kind of wild.
You know what I learned this week too? I know this is another random tangent, but this is our show. Yes. But it's like,
we're going to do what we want.
Since I was so used to as a kid, I had a few goldfish. They died very quickly. Very quickly.
I had one that got flushed as soon as I got back from the fair, by the way.
Oh, as soon as he got back.
Shit was not sweet for me.
But I learned this week that goldfish get big.
How big?
Like, I thought goldfish stayed that tiny size because we always see them die
Yeah.
about that. Boom, boom, boom. These niggas get like this big.
Is that why they get flushed? People
I
are like,
guess,
I'm
like,
not
people are
having
just
that
like,
in
I'm
my
not
house.
doing that.
That's a terror.
Because apparently, like, if taken care of, they can live like a decade or long years. Like, boom, boom, boom. And they just eat a ton and they just grow. Like,
wow.
Apparently they screw up river systems because people thinking that they're saving the goldfish will like go to pet stores or just like they'll just like dump out goldfish into rivers or whatever, thinking they're saving them or giving them back because they're freshwater animals. You know, you dump them in a river or lake, cool. But then they'll end up messing up the ecosystems of the lake and or messing up the drainage systems or whatever that these lakes go through. These lakes and these rivers go through because they'll just get huge and survive.
Imagine that you're just going for a nice little swim, you know what I mean? Like you're going tubing or something. You're just trying to relax, enjoy your day. All of a sudden you fall off the tube and you just got swarmed by like 10 massive goldfish. And they start running you know what I mean? Like they really start trying to run you for your pellets type.
The thing is though, people are gonna call me all types of pussy and that's fine, but goldfish are the type of fish.
Nigga, 20 goldfish run up to you, I'm pussy.
Bro, they're one of the types of fish that truly, a large goldfish would scare me in real life. Just like touching one, even if it was just that big, just like a fish that I don't think mentally is supposed to be that big, and I see it that big would screw with me. Yeah. Like, you know, those little fish that every teacher had like one of them, or every teacher would make the mistake of having two or having one with other fish and it would end up killing them, like the little fighty fish or whatever.
Beta fish or something?
The beta fish. Anytime beta fish were relatively large.
Why'd you do this? Like the fighting
scared,
fish,
bro.
Like they were about to squabble on each other?
Bro, it looked like they were swinging on niggas.
Like this is the fish. They're really standing up on their fins, just like, what's up, bro? I'm here. Why like,
bro, if I saw a fish hit another fish with the
the full wind up,
bro, I would throw away the whole fish tank. Bro, I'm the type of dude that would get horrified. I'd be like, I'm next.
I think you see any school of fish that are like over a foot, you don't feel like you should be there, you know?
At all.
It feels like you're prey at that point.
It feels like you're in the wrong area at the wrong time. It's like how Twitter was saying.
Is that getting jumped by like some fish?
Yes. Bro, I know this is another tangent, but we can get back on track. But it's like, bro, do you remember when Twitter was asking people, and there was hundreds, like it was a viral thing. This was years ago. They were asking people, it was a thread of people quote retweeting their responses, and the question was like, what would you do if you saw this at a gas station? And it wasn't even like a bunch of gangsters or anything like that. It was literally just a bunch of black people just in front of the gas station, like one person.
I remember that. People were like, what's happening? Like,
and then a lot of people were like, oh, I'm not going inside, I'm turning around and going to another gas station.
It's like, bro, you never seen black people before?
Like, what? Those are the people that will see, those are the people that will be in like Cambridge or will be in like Calabasas or something like that, where they know stuff is sweet. It's not like stuff isn't sweet. No, stuff is sweet, and they'll be walking and still cross the street when they see a black person. It's like, no, he lives here too, you know? Like,
imagine. So it's funny that you say that, because truly it's like you're in the water, right, and you see a fish, it's like, oh fuck, let's swim away. It's like, bitch, you're in my town. Like, what are you doing? That's how in my environment. I feel like
that exact meme with you describing that school of fish, but from the white people perspective, because I was like, bro, I'm definitely going to another gas station if I see those fish hanging out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see them niggas deep down there. I'm like,
you can't even do it.
I don't belong here right now. But
what would you ever go like deep sea diving? I'm not saying like, so you're in the middle of the fucking ocean, right? Mm-hmm. Would you ever not free dive or some shit, but like, I guess it's free diving. Would you ever go down though, like about 30 feet or lower?
Like attached to like a tank of air and all that whole jazz, just like go down.
Yeah, you're not just like strong breath type. You know, you're going down with like a whole scuba gear or something.
To be quite honest with you,
rebreather.
Knowing myself, I would once ever on some conquer fear stuff if I was with somebody I trusted, somebody that really wanted to do it. But personally, that's gonna be a scary speak. 99.9% of the time, I'm gonna say no, because now that they have that thing in Dubai, I would just go to Dubai if I want my deep diving experience. They have like, they opened up, it's like a 200 feet deep. It has like corals. It has like different kind of things. Boom, boom, boom. It gives you the whole experience. You could dive deep underwater.
Oh, that's awesome. Wait, I'm not gonna lie.
So why would I could do that in a controlled environment where I know a shark's not gonna attack me? Yeah. I would happily do it, because the length isn't what it is. It's just how undiscovered the ocean is. If I even look
at how vast, it's not even undiscovered. Like they could have researched this area like a million times over. It's just, this bitch is deep and there's a lot going on. Like one day it's gonna look different than the next.
Bro, what?
Bro, why do they have some of the craziest shit in Dubai? Just like, money. Is that paradise? You're right.
Money. It's literally the playground for the dumb rich. you don't come up on Forbes because you have too much money and your family rich.
They're saying like you don't count. You're a cheat code. We're gonna put Kylie Jenner on. You gotta. We need some more self-made people. Fuck y'all.
But speaking of people.
Just kidding. Shouts out to all my people in Dubai. You already know it's all love around here.
Speaking about rich people, because rich people definitely didn't take this vaccine. Johnson & Johnson confirmed.
Definitely did not. Definitely did not.
No. They were avoiding the Johnson & Johnson.
I'm sorry.
I
For
saw
all the people that are getting
when I took Pfizer.
For all the people that are getting affected by Johnson
That's
& Johnson.
why I knew I took the right one.
Let's go ahead and say right now, for all the people that have been negatively impacted by Johnson & Johnson.
Of course.
Everything we're about to say, it's all jokes.
Of course.
And we do feel y'all. And it's sad if anything has affected y'all. But that being said, let's get right to it.
With that being said, Johnson & Johnson confirmed it's talking to the U.S. FDA about an increased risk of a rare neurological complication among people who received its single-dose COVID-19 vaccine.
Bro, I'm not going to lie. After all the things you've heard about Johnson & Johnson at this point, imagine niggas are still lining up. It's got to be the only vaccine around you for hundreds of miles.
And you know we're pro-vax
for hundreds of miles.
Right? Like, we're very pro-vax as a podcast.
I got that Pfizer, yes sir.
Yeah, good Pfizer inside of me. But Johnson & Johnson, even as me becoming pro-vax, like, and people say probably whatever they say about even Pfizer, but Johnson & Johnson was one that just rubbed me wrong because if I see every form of the vaccine needs 2 shots to reach the efficacy that we needed, what did you do to make yours need 1?
You know
what I'm saying? Like,
what you do? What do you mean by that?
What do you mean by that?
Taking 1 shot? What do you mean by that?
You know, like that one's a little different. That one's a little different to me personally.
The only thing stronger than Johnson & Johnson is family. Shouts out to
Bro, Johnson & Johnson vaccine is stronger than McGregor's legs, though.
Way stronger. Wow. Okay, we'll get back to that one. Because that was looking peculiar. A little peculiar.
But moving on from Johnson & Johnson, unless you had other things to say about that.
Nah, man. At the end of the day, you know, all these are personal decisions. So take what you want at your own risk and don't let people judge you. I'm just saying, if things do go bad, like, I'm praying for y'all, for real. Whoever took that vaccine, I'm praying for y'all.
And I don't remember if we spoke about this beautiful black queen when we did our podcast last week.
I don't think it happened.
It may not have, to be quite honest. But I wanted to definitely take a moment to highlight Zaila Avant-Garde, New Orleans resident, 13-year-old, future Hall of Famer, WNBA, 3-time Guinness Book of World Records record holder. And guess which every record is done? In basketball.
Yeah, she
dribbled 6 basketballs
phenom,
at the same time for 1 minute.
Think about that, man. Like, she's actually a child phenom that's just like so good at so much shit. And I'm not gonna lie, I know she's underappreciated at her school. I know she started to get a little bit of clout. Let's be honest.
National spelling bee.
She just started to get that clout, and people are still gonna probably be talking shit.
Bro, you know what's crazy about that too? Because I agree with you. But this even goes into her being underappreciated. When they announced that she won the spelling bee and then they talked about her liking basketball or whatever, because it was her quote. She said basically like, these were the... She said the spelling bee was basically the hors d'oeuvre because her basketball abilities is the main course because that's what she focuses on. That's what she cares about. So really as a hobby, she shit on you niggas, whatever. But anyways, that sucks to hear. I know that's gotta suck to hear. But anyways.
I feel like, bro, she's just inspiring. Like, I remember inspiring, when I was a kid, I wanted to be that guy who genuinely did everything, right? So seeing, obviously, you know, things don't pan out as you want them to. You get 7th in your school spelling bee. And she won it nationally, you know. Obviously, there's levels to this. She's different. But it's cool to just see a child able to accomplish such great feats and kind of be that mold for be different, be who you want, and do what you want.
Absolutely. And my favorite part about her was the fact that she said all that. She talked her shit. And then people just were going crazy in the responses. They were just talking about, man, she sucks at basketball. She's not good, blah, blah, blah. I know she's probably ass at it. And then the same, I forget which company it was, because I do want to give credit when there's good journalism that's done, because sometimes these people just do the bad journalism that we see a lot of the time, to be quite honest. But they instantly followed it up with another post, which was her highlights, because she's an 8th grader now, and it was her 7th and 6th grade highlights. She was mixing these young women, by the way. Mixing them.
Getting crutches after.
Oh my goodness. She was getting crazy assists. She had a jelly fam package.
Really got it like that. That's incredible.
Her dribble package nuts. She already dribbles better than a lot of you niggas. Confidently. Doesn't lose the ball. Like, you can't get a Guinness Book of World Records was dribbling and not be confident touching that basketball.
You got to.
So shouts out to her for sure. And the New Orleans connection. You know, we got to give a shout out to her, yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
But moving right along, did you want to talk about the finals before we get into singing Otani's praises?
I think are we talking about any of the movies?
Oh, actually, before we even get into the rest of sports, I forgot about this small section that we had. And it is adjacent a little bit. As a lot of the world knows, if not the whole world should know, that Space Jam 2 is coming out this Friday. LeBron James, the star of the movie, you know, the greatest of all time, being the star of Space Jam, just like the greatest of all time prior was the star of the last Space Jam.
Iconic. And let's not ever do a disservice on Michael Jordan himself. We all know where he is now. He's older.
Of course.
You know, if like kids these days, first of all, I didn't get to see him when he was really playing like that, but we saw like him fresh off the retirement, learning about it, seeing all the highlights, seeing these things. He really was that guy. Like, never take it away from him.
No, the room definitely changed when Michael Jordan walked into the room, always.
And seeing how inspiring even a kid film like Space Jam was to like a young generation of hoopers.
Bro, you know
it's going to be nice to see the
stuff?
LeBron impact.
You know,
that secret, he really had the bottle though.
I had the bottle for years, like, because I finished the candy and then I had the bottle and fill it with water and think I'm just doing my secret stuff, like, for real.
And I believed it. I was kind of upset.
I would hide it too because I didn't want people to get into my secret stuff. Like no, that movie had huge impressions on us. That's why one thing I wanted to get off before we even dive into talking about Space Jam a little bit, and LeBron getting that Fortnite shot nod, which is dope too. But it's just like Space Jam. I'm so happy about us being positive about it because I'm excited to see it, even if it's a G-rated movie and like whatever. It's just because of the same fact that...
Do you want to see people dying?
Right? In a Space Jam movie. And two, it's for the kids. Like, Michael Jordan... He had a huge legacy, don't get me wrong, with his shoes and everything else. But the Space Jams and like the little appearances and things like that, like, you guys have to realize this stuff is strategic, right? Like, this Space Jam movie isn't for us. This Space Jam movie is for the next generation of people to always remember LeBron and remember this, remember that, grow up with it. Somebody that was my age when I saw Space Jam to get enthralled by seeing LeBron James do something cool on the screen.
Because I already know at the end, it might not be the little stretch dunk like that MJ did, but I am pretty sure it's going to be some type of icon like a LeBron dunk, you know? I don't know how it's going to look or whatever, but I'm just starting to try and make it make sense in my head.
I love the stars they have in it too. You know, I saw they put Diana Taurasi as the White Mamba.
I love it. I love it. Because she's a killer.
For sure. Real killer.
Need that
Kobe
one.
recognized too. Yes, sir.
They got Zendaya as fucking Lola Bunny.
They got Clay and Dame on the Monstars.
Because they are Monstars. Need that one. Need them right back.
For sure. Lo. And they got AD on it. And then Bron, even in the movie, he's like,
they have the brown
got
AD?
Right?
Really?
Yeah. He's like, even his teammate? Damn. No,
that AD?
No, the little trailer made me excited to see it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I hate a bunch of people being like, oh, man, they're going to ruin the legacy. How do you ruin the legacy?
Look. I think the people complaining about ruining the legacy are the vast minority. I don't even want to give those people shine because I think most people understand the assignment.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Understood the assignment for this one?
It's not. It's
like,
not for us. It's not for the 40-year-old. It's not for the 30-year-old. It's for the kids. So let the kids have it.
Yes, sirski.
I'm excited for another movie though.
What other movie?
Bro, you already know me when it comes to Marvel. I like this. I like the superpower shit. I like the flashy shit. I think we already talked about it before a little bit, maybe. But it's always the straight human ability, exaggerated, of course, that really captivates me. Like Captain America, Winter Soldier, some of the fights like between Cap and Bucky at the time, just that shit was stupid hype. But Black Widow, I think, is about to do it. I think
that's going to be a good one?
I think they're about to do it again because they already were describing a certain scene that makes me remember certain scenes from the Winter Soldier, and it's like, oh, this is going to be a good movie.
I'm excited for Black Widow as well, just because I think that they do a great job with that, with the movies of the non, like, in your face superpower heroes, because, like, once again, I loved both Ant-Mans. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, Ant-Man gets big and small, so yeah, he gets ginormous, and that's crazy. But I mean, for the most part, it's humanized, like the rest of the way they talk about him. Even Tony Stark, as somebody that, yeah, the human character is the people that fell in love with him, but like most of the movie, you're seeing the tech that makes him a superhero.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And you're seeing him utilize it. Like, we really like.
And later on, you see him put the paws on people.
Like
by the end,
Ant-Man was basically like a rom-com that had some superpowers thrown in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love how they could flip that and give us flavors and it's still cool. You know what I'm saying? Like,
This is just nitty gritty action movie though, and
I'm ready for it.
I hope they don't take the. I know there's obviously going to be like other elements. I'm just hoping they don't take the Fast and Furious like family route because I'd be so disappointed. I'd be so damn disappointed. First off, all these memes, bro. I have someone here, and we're gonna put it on the pod. You know, Chuka vouch for me, bro. Who was early on these memes? Don't do me like that. I'm gonna ask that again. All right, Chuka vouch for me, bro. Who was early on these memes?
As it goes, the first one.
It was quiet as fuck for a second there.
I was about to cap. But you called me out, so I decided I couldn't do that to my dog.
Oh my goodness, that response didn't come quick enough. But yeah, that's all I got on that front. We're just staying tuned to go see it. Mm-hmm. Are you seeing it on Disney Plus? You about to pay that $30, or you seeing it in person? All right, we got our answer.
No offense to these people who sponsor us, but that's funny. But the movie I'm really excited to see, to be honest, is yes, one of them. I know no one is, well, they're popular movies, so people care about them, but I know they're not traditionally known as great movies. Like, I don't think anybody, like, once again, I think people understood the assignment on these movies too. Mm-hmm. But I'm just a fan of the Purge series, so I'm excited to see the newest Purge because I heard that was coming out this year. But I'm also really excited to see Invincibles. Invincibles seems like it's either going to be super fire or suck.
Oh, I was thinking of Invincible, not Invincibles, like with all the different like little heroes and things, right? Mm-hmm. That shit looks super cool. I hope it doesn't suck. That's what I'm saying. I think they're gonna try and paint, dude. I'm not even gonna go into it with that energy. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great, and there's a lot of diversity. So I just would hate for this to be the one that people just default say it sucks, even if it doesn't.
Fair. Just to give things a chance. But I definitely am excited to see that movie. First and foremost, because I like giving most superhero stuff a chance regardless. Like there was that one about that little oh man, I don't remember what the name of it, but it was like people were separated into colors and each color had different strengths of the superpowers that they could use. Like the highest color was like one of them was secretly it, but they were classified another one. It was a badass movie, but I saw a bunch of people thought it sucked, so maybe I just like certain stuff.
I got no clue what he's talking about, which makes me feel like
it was really cool. I saw it in theaters though.
I gotta go back and check out
what they said they were gonna make a second one, but I don't know if they really were because it kind of sucked, but I thought it was cool even though I could tell.
Was that like Green Lantern?
No, it was Marvel or DC.
Okay. Well, shit, I guess we'll come back to that one then.
Yeah, if I remember it, I'll text it to you or I'll send it to you. Okay. But moving right along, then, do you have anything else like movie stuff? Are you watching anything you want to tell the people about?
Man, I'm not watching anything that I'm just going to go ahead and say for mass people. It's just niche audience shit. So go ahead and keep doing what you're doing. Enjoy your free time and live it up how you will. You know, I'm not forcing you to take part in the things I like.
Yes, sirski.
Yeah.
And so moving right along, we have two-part bit of news. We'll start with the great side of it, to be honest. Like the super dope thing is seeing the MLB almost be forced to take on, but it seems like they're embracing. So I will say it seems like they're embracing, of course, but when somebody is so talented, it's unquestionable, it doesn't matter. But it seems like Ohtani is becoming like the shining star in the MLB. He's having some of the most watched games, some of the most watched clips. Obviously the international audience helps and everything of that nature, but seeing Ohtani be named to the home run derby and an all-star starting pitcher and an all-star starting batter, I think it was one of the first times in history, if not the first time. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not a big baseball guy. He's somebody in like the recent home runs, like the Acuñas, just like seeing this
and Atlanta was going crazy with
like it. What? Like I'm saying, like this stuff is making baseball exciting to me again, for real. And I want to give a big shout to Ohtani. He seems like such a genuine person that just wants to go out there and do their job and enjoy themselves doing it. Mm-hmm. But I mean, he gets business done though, boy. Like
straight to it.
Home runs, just
it's somebody from like
gone. Wait, it's gone.
It's gone. Apparently he hadn't been to like a batting practice all season. That's what his team, like officials and things, have been saying.
30 plus homers. They're probably gonna, if they see him walk into batting practice now, if that's true, like, they're gonna kick him out
of here, bro.
They're gonna
be like, yourself up. What are we about to teach you?
They're like, what you know? Yeah, good one. Stay over there.
Exactly.
It's just funny that he's on a team with Mike Trout, which is also one of the people that they say is one of the greatest people in the league. And I'm not huge.
Bro, we were
baseball.
talking about this on the pod with Casey, and it's funny how things have just changed in really not that long.
Really, that is funny because we were talking about this with Casey, but it's funny just hearing people talk about how two of arguably the best players in the MLB are on the same team, but the team is still so and so. I'm just saying, for sheer selfishness, That Trout contract, too nuts. He's there. He's not leaving.
Yeah.
That 10-year, like, come on now.
Can they pay that twice?
That's what I'm saying. Either they find a way to pay it twice, or Atlanta Braves, if you're listening. Atlanta Braves, if you're listening. We need Ohtani.
Atlanta Braves, if you're listening.
We need Ohtani.
But that being said,
we'll just put that out there.
No tampering or anything. Come to the Braves.
Please come to the Braves. But seeing him happy, seeing him take over the league by storm, and all of that yada yada going on is dope to me. But Stephen A. Smith said something recently, and I believe that it is fair to not, like, I guess, reprimand too much, but in terms of just look at in the totality of the fact that it seemed like a few leagues, a few people, like the old guard, like old way of thinking kind of thing goes with this.
I'm happy that you said that, by the way, because that's where I was going to get to after, but keep going.
Of course, just because I don't want everything to just be like a shit on people fest, because for the most part here, we're positive vibes.
And you know how generations be, man.
Message.
They got different ways of thinking. We got to be patient with them, even though he's wrong.
Of course. And so he was talking about how it may not be the best idea, or it may not be this. Like, I'm not going to paraphrase or say this word for word, so y'all check me if y'all need to check me. But he was talking about how it would be like Ohtani is talented and all. Actually, I'll let his own words play. It's only 22 seconds. We'll let him get his stuff off. But he was talking about how oh wow, they deleted the clip.
Oh, they got him out of there fast. That's crazy.
Oh no.
They're trying to do damage control. PR's on it ASAP.
Oh, this is slightly more context. It's a longer one.
And I understand that baseball is an international sport itself in terms of participation. But when you talk about an audience gravitating to the tube or to the ballpark to actually watch you, okay, I don't think it helps that the number one face is a dude that needs an interpreter so you can understand what the hell he's saying in this country. And that's what I'm trying to say.
Can I go ahead and say something here?
Go hard.
It's just like, first off, Stephen A., I know you don't watch that much baseball. So we're just going to pass that one.
ESPN works him 7 days a week, 365 days a year. He doesn't have time to watch sports
anymore. He works so damn much, and I know he only watches the sports he really enjoys a lot. So if at the most that he actually watches sports, probably. So that being said, second off, bro, no one's coming to these games to watch these players speak. They're coming to these games to watch the players play.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, he's not supposed to pop out and be that guy who's just like, damn, I'm the voice of the people. He's popping out, and he's trying. If he wants to be, he can be. And if he takes that upon himself to be that, that's cool. But he's the kind of guy who's getting out there, and you're watching him do spectacular shit to set the tone for kids growing up to shoot for a goal and be that. Because they're not kids. Aren't going to be like, damn, I want to be like Babe Ruth. That nigga old, bro. They didn't even see him play type. You know what I mean? And Shohei doing shit that's way more impressive, to be honest.
And his name's Shohei, which is super fi.
Exactly.
Super fi. And then another thing is, too,
let me not take away from the great Bambini, but you know what I'm trying to get at.
But another thing, too, that goes into representation that matters as well. It's like, yes, we get it. Like, he needs an interpreter. He's this, he's that. But, bro, they're still firing fireworks.
Bro, it's like July 12th.
What?
And they're still shooting fireworks.
Bro, y'all niggas need to stop that. I'm sorry.
Actually, the Braves do that, though. They have fireworks show at the Braves games. No, I can't be that consistently, though.
And in that direction and there, that's not Braves Stadium. But anyways, sorry, back to Shohei. The representation matters, truly. And so we saw in the NBA, like, I'm just going to be clear, obviously, like, we have Asian friends that love the sport, love different players of the sport, love Kobe's and LeBron's and all that. Mm-hmm. But when Linsanity was going on and people were able to see somebody that looks a little bit more like them doing the crazy stuff, guess what was one of the number one jersey sales in the NBA? Like, let's talk about how in baseball even, people are still making lines about Ichiro. You know what I'm saying? Ichiro is still talked about at this point, because how big of a representation he mattered and how big he was. People still talk about the Yao Mings, you know what I'm saying? Because you could still name on your hand how many of the superstars look like you. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that there is one, just think about the new audience that it can bring in, the viewership of a dying sport. Like, we're watching the year of the resurgence of baseball. We're watching baseball start to come alive in a lot of people's eyes again. So I think we need to change the argument from he might need an interpreter to how can we uplift this young man and make him stand tall as the face of the league if he's going to be the one that's pushed into position to be the face of the league.
Exactly. And if we even flip it to a basketball side, look at like a Luka, bro. I'm not saying like obviously Luka speaks English and he speaks pretty well, but at the same time, that's not his first language, and he's not gonna probably act like it is. Like, he knows that he is from somewhere else, and that's fine, because the way that this man gets people watching him and talking about him, it's been nuts since he came into the league. Like, people are tuning into games purely to watch him, you know, and that's something to take notice to. Like, you don't have to be that prim proper, having the most eloquent level.
They want everybody to be a Peyton Manning.
That's not the way it is. You got to give people a chance to talk with their actions, and if you play sports, your action is your gameplay. Let them shine, man.
And they gain confidence. You see swag. Like, yeah, Shohei's foreign, of course. And they may not do certain things, but I mean, like, Shohei be in those dugouts. You know what I'm saying? Shohei's with the team. Shohei's celebrating with everybody else. Like, I promise you, like, once the prestige, once certain confidence, once certain things hit him, we're going to start seeing the Shohei swag. Like, we're going to start seeing, like, what he does. Because even, like, the way he plays.
I'm sure his team uplifts him like shit.
What, like, we see the way they showed a highlight of him in, like, a stadium in Tokyo hitting a home run, and he hit a home run, and he just looked, bro, he's also kind of like a Kawhi, though. It seems like he's just so casual about doing cool stuff, because this man hit it through the roof.
It's just casual. This man, it feels like, okay, I hate saying this now that I'm about to, so I'm gonna refrain from it, just so I don't like put him in a box or anything. But it just feels like a certain vein of TV where it's just like you see the main character doing some outlandish shit and they're just so casual with it. It's like I was watching Jujutsu Kaisen and Yuji's just doing the most like crazy shit at the beginning. It's like, is that a regular person?
It's dope though. It's dope. So I mean, I'm there for it. Like, really, I want to get a Shohei jersey because baseball has some of the finest jerseys of all sports. To be honest, I won't say the finest, but they have some of them. They're up there in that.
The style of jersey is actually too tough.
Super tough. So I mean, like, it makes somebody that, bro, I've shat on baseball for so many years of my life because I loved it as a young kid because the Mark McGuires and the the Barry Bonds, like that time, like it was really making me enthralled watching that game. Like, I'd be sitting there like, oh, this is exciting. Like, I'm about to watch someone murder that shit. Like, send that shit out, you know? Like, that stuff was so cool to me. And I hated it the rest of my life, though, when they started changing rules. They took steroids out, and they did all these things. But now it seems like the home run derby, game-wise, is coming back. Like, it seems like we're watching home run derbies all the time now. It seems like it's getting back to that. Now, I'm ready. Like, I'm talking to this man about going to baseball games. Yeah. When's the last time I asked you before this year to go to a baseball game?
To Braves games.
What did I ask you before this year?
The year was 1972.
So never.
Never.
Because I only went to Braves games to be drunk with my friends. You know what I'm saying? I didn't go to watch the game. Like,
the games are the fun part though, dude, now, like, of actually being there. And I've been to a few probably in the past few years, man. I'm going to keep going to more, so.
Yes, sirski. But other than that, I didn't really have much else to speak about. Did you have something else that you wanted to talk about?
No, if y'all made it this far, you already know what it is. Go ahead and let us know what you think about the podcast, because as of late, we've just been trying to make sure that we're upping the ante in any way possible, whether that, again, be him calling us, letting us
calling us straight up.
And letting us know the audio ain't it, you know? Leave that shit as a review. And, like, not necessarily that comment. We appreciate you calling direct if you're a friend of the pod, but leave us a review and let us know what you want to see, what you like about the podcast and things like that. We really appreciate it. So, again, go on to Apple Podcasts and leave us a review and let us know what you think.
Yes, sirski. Apple Podcasts. Go like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube, the whole 9 yards.
All right, but besides that, I'm good.
Yes, sirski. My name's Chuka.
My name's Ezigo.
This is the Offspace.
Space.